that you were in a relationship with someone and this person was just not focused on you or the relationship at all. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. This is Sovereign Light Tarot, and my name is Jamie, your certified tarot reader and wellness coach. This reading, we are going to be doing a pick a deck reading for the new moon in Pisces coming up on February 27th. This energy will peak at 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. And Pisces has a lot to do with emotions, sensitivity. It's mutable water, so it's easily adaptable to the energies around it. Now, we're going to do this reading a little bit differently. After you pick your deck, we're going to choose a central focus, and then I'm going to do a 3-card pull asking very specific questions around the central focus, as well as giving additional insight on how you can set intentions and work with this new moon. So before we get started, please make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and even hit that little notifications bell so that you can be updated and notified every single time I post a new video. Also, if you're interested in booking a personalized reading, purchasing a monthly zodiac reading, or even just subscribing to the newsletter, which is free, please check out the description below where you will find all of those links to do so. Now, it's time to pick our deck. So let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. Imagine which deck is calling to you. Are you being pulled to the left, to the right? Is the color white? Is it gold? Where is your energy drawing? Where are you going to? Now that you can release that breath and open your eyes, take a quick look at the deck you've chosen and then check out the description below. And let's see what the new moon in Pisces has in store for you. All right, if this was the deck you chose, this will be the deck that we are doing our reading with. Again, just a reminder, this is going to be a 3-card pull, but we're going to get really clear on what each card means and how we're going to relate these to the new moon. And we're going to do that. We're going to pull an overall theme for this reading. And we're going to use this as like our key word or key phrase. Forgive and forget. Now with Pisces actually governs themes like compassion, acceptance, empathy, and even forgiveness. It's a very spiritually in tune sign, and it's also like mutable water. So even though Pisces is very sensitive because they have the tendency to pick up on the emotions of others, they can also change that very quickly. All right. So if you know a Pisces that has a tendency to hold grudges, chances are they've got some fixed energy attached along with that. But for you guys, your new moon, your intentions could be working on forgiveness, learning what does forgiveness mean to me, things like that. So that's what we're going to discuss with this reading. Okay. What is it that you need to forgive? Why you need to forgive it? And how you can do this. What do we need to forgive? The 8 of Pentacles, interesting. So the 8 of Pentacles actually can represent Virgo energy. So this could be forgiving yourself for being so hyper-focused on something that you're learning, something that you're working on. It could be forgiving yourself for being such a perfectionist. right? Forgiving yourself for being overly critical, because the Eight of Pentacles is actually associated with Virgo energy. Virgo is what we will experience a lunar eclipse coming up in the sign of Virgo. And actually, Virgo is right now, the lunar nodes are sitting, the South Node is currently sitting in Virgo, and the North Node is sitting in Pisces. Virgo has the tendency to focus on perfectionism, maybe even being overly critical of oneself. Okay? Why do you need to forgive yourself of this? Because it's breaking your heart with the Three of Swords. It's creating a separation. It's creating this sense of loss. Right? It could be that you were in a relationship with someone and this person was just not focused on you or the relationship at all, and it ended. Right? There's a real need to let this go, because whatever you're hanging on to is breaking your heart. It's causing this deep, deep sense of loss and even betrayal. How can you do that? You have to move on. You have to move on. This is no longer meant to be if this is something that you're holding on to, if this is a grudge that you're holding on to, if this is the hope of a relationship, of rekindling a romance, if that's something that you are trying to hold on to, it's only going to continue to hurt you. Some things we have no control over, and the more we try to keep control on it, the tighter that grasp we try to have around a thing, the more it begins to hurt us in the long run. And the Six of Swords is moving on to calmer waters, moving on to more peaceful waters, allowing the mind to move forward. You can take the experience with you. You can take what came from it with you. But it's time to let this go. You know, like I said, if this is the idea of perfectionism, if you struggle with perfectionist tendencies, forgive yourself. Be like, nothing is ever perfect. And if you continue to wait until something is perfect, it's never going to be that. Even relationships will never be perfect. Never, ever, ever be perfect. Because humans are messy. Human emotions are messy. And we always don't know everything. We're not the best communicators. We've got childhood trauma, generational trauma we're all hopefully trying to work through. Things can be really messy when you're human. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. So if we're talking about perfectionism tendencies, you got to let go of that. You got to move on, let go of that idea, because you will consistently be disappointed, because nothing is ever perfect. Even if it seems perfect, it's not going to stay perfect. Right? If you're seeing someone and they are extremely focused on their job or learning something, and you feel like they don't give you enough attention, maybe they just don't have the capability to do that right now. And that's not their fault, that's not your fault. But if you continue to have that expectation from them, it's only going to continue to break your heart. And you need to at least allow your mind to move away from the concept of, like I said, perfection. Earth, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Like I said, our human emotions are very messy. We get angry, we get frustrated, we get disappointed, we feel rejected, abandoned. And all of those things, if we don't have the necessary coping skills on how to deal with it, if we don't know how to advocate for ourselves, if we struggle to really understand and do those things, then it can create a mess of issues. But that's part of being human. Yes, we are all divine beings, but we're also still very human. And we have to learn how to balance that, which for me is where self-awareness comes in. The more self-aware you are, the more you can be in tune with the divine as well as being in tune with your humanness. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. We have to learn how to balance these very messy human emotions. Very messy human emotions. This energy is gaining momentum. This is a waxing moon. So this energy is building up, right? So it's almost like it feels like if you don't allow yourself to move away from, like I said, whether this is the idea of perfectionism, whether this is I forgot what I earlier said what it was, but this idea of perfectionism within the context of relationships, your work, anything, if you don't move away from that, it's going to continue to build, because it's like I said, it's going to continue to break your heart. It's going to continue to create this situation or separation, which can cultivate in resentment. And if that is going to continue to build, what typically happens? It's like the soda bottle. When you shake it up, all those emotions, all those bubbles inside, you shake it up and you finally take that top off, it explodes everywhere, which is very messy. So allowing yourself to actually move away from this mindset, to move away from this idea, maybe even to move away from this person, to move on, to forgive them and forget it. It's just going to build. And ultimately, it's only going to be you who's carrying around this bag of bricks. Last oracle pull. Big changes are coming. There's no need for you to hold on to this any longer. Like I said, if this is a relationship that's not meeting your expectations, one, you need to evaluate those expectations and actually see, are they kind of impossible? Like, are they just boundaries? Or do I have really high expectations of another person? Like, if you don't allow yourself to move on, like I said, from this idea of perfectionism within a person, within the context of a relationship, with the context of yourself, if you don't allow yourself to move on from this, you're going to begin to block these changes. Big changes are coming. Look how beautiful and lovely that is. All that pink. This is like very Venusian. And look, with the dove, if I'm not mistaken, doves mean like purity, forgiveness, and love. But big, big changes are coming. This is card number 39. 3 is expression, it's development, it's communication. 9 is a cycle coming to completion. It's a sense of awareness and satisfaction. Put them together, you get the number 11. That's a master number of creation and manifestation. You can either choose to hang on to this heartache and choose to hang on to this feeling of separation, or you can choose to move on from it and allow these new changes, allow this momentum to go in a direction that feels like this. But the choice is yours. As always, the choice is yours. So if you chose this reading, I truly hope this helped. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you can be uploaded the next time I upload a video, which I'll probably upload the March forecast. And just comment. Let me know in the comments where you're listening in from and even what resonated with you the most. But I hope you guys have a lovely new moon. Set those intentions around working on forgiveness. How can I move into a more accepting mindset? What steps can I take? What goals can I write down? What goals can I set for myself? How I can move on and forgive and forget. All right, beautiful souls. If this is your reading, this is going to be your reading for the Pisces, or the new moon coming up in Pisces on the 27th, if I'm not mistaken. This energy, Pisces, has a lot to do with like forgiveness. It's a mutable water sign, so it's really adaptable to people's emotions, sometimes to its own detriment. But what we're going to do is we're going to get an overall energy theme for the reading, and then we're going to ask, like I said, that three card pull questions. What do you need to do in regard to this energy? Why you need to do it, and how you can do it, right? And then we'll base your intentions off of that. So let's see what the overall energy theme is for this reading. Address your addictions. Pisces rules the 12th house, and the 12th house has a lot to do with the subconscious, which can result in escapism tendencies, right? Pisces rules the 12th house, mental health, addiction, escapism, things like that. So for you guys, it looks like you're going to be called out on facing some addiction. So we're going to ask, what addictions do you need? Goodness. I'm going to leave that out because that flipped out. So we'll see. I always take cards like it, especially if a single card flips over, because I don't shuffle real hard. So if a card flips out, falls out, I definitely pay attention to it. What addictions do you need to address? The Knight of Swords, or excuse me, the Knight of Wands. Why do you need to address this addiction? The Hermit. And how do you address this addiction? The Two of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going to set this up here. So addressing your addictions, when it comes to the Knight of Wands, this can be constantly chasing your desire, constantly seeking freedom and excitement, drama even, because it is fire signs. Fire signs have to do a lot with, that passion, that fire within. And don't make no mistake, people can be addicted to drama because their nervous system is accustomed to chaos. And if drama creates that chaos, then it feels like comfort to them, right? So this can be addressing addictions around, like I said, seeking something, always seeking something outside of yourself, finding fulfillment outside of yourself, and even seeking that drama. Why do you need to do that? Because it's preventing your ability to find that inner enlightenment, which is what all escapism tendencies have to do, right? There's something that we don't want to face, some hole we're trying to fill, when the irony, the very thing that we're running from is probably the very thing that could fill that hole. The Hermit is about removing distractions, going into a space of isolation so that we can receive this enlightenment. Find that inner light, find that guiding star. But if you're constantly seeking fulfillment outside of yourself, then you're never going to find the fulfillment from within. Never going to find that. And you'll always be reliant on other people to give that to you. You'll always require it of another person. Here, how you can go about doing this, you really need to think about what your priorities are. The Two of Pentacles is the juggler of the tarot, juggling all of the things of life, relationships, health, work, finances, all of these things, juggling all of it. But what's your priority? What are your actual priorities? What are your needs? Because a lot of the time, if we're seeking something outside of ourselves, it's because we don't know how to give it to us. If we need safety, if we're seeking safety and security within the context of other relationships, it's because we don't know how to give that to ourselves. If we're seeking love, constantly jumping from relationship to relationship, if we're seeking validation, if we're seeking just company, then it's because we can't give that to ourselves. We don't know what our needs are. I don't know what my need is when it comes to love. I don't know what my need is when it comes to my health. I don't know what my mind, my heart, my body, and my soul need. And if you don't know that, then it's going to be really hard for you to figure out what your priorities are. Then you're going to constantly be seeking these things outside of yourself. And there's just going to be this big circle. These three cards are just going to forever go in a circle. And it could be that so I am going to say this, with the Four of Wands coming out, the Four of Wands represents like going to a celebration or a wedding. It could be that you are constantly seeking out fun, constantly seeking out enjoyment, like thrills. Maybe even, what do they have at celebrations? They usually have alcohol. Seeking just some place to escape. Some place to escape, seeking those things outside of yourself because you don't know how to give it to yourself. With this new moon, set those intentions. Every day I'm going to write in a journal, and I'm going to ask myself, what do I need today? What do I want today? And why do I want it? Just start asking yourself those important questions. Why do I want this thing? What does it give me? What purpose is it serving? What purpose is it serving? Say if it's love, why does love serve me? Well, it serves you because it allows us to feel connected, to feel validated, to feel like we all care. Like, love is a basic need. Just like having a roof over your head and having food and having water, those are all basic needs, but so is security. So is love. Those are basic needs as well. So you can start by setting those intentions. What actions can you begin to take on a daily basis to help you understand why you're seeking what it is that you're seeking? And then you can build on it from there and be like, how can I give this to myself? How can I give this to myself? Star Keeper, Cosmic Ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. Giving yourself that alone time, giving yourself that opportunity to sit, to understand yourself, instead of, like I said, seeking that fulfillment through other people, gives you the opportunity to tap into that innate knowledge that's already within us. It's already there. You don't need to seek it through another person because it's already there, right? And you can tap into that by removing those distractions. removing those distractions and allowing yourself to see what comes up. Like I said, journal it. Journal it. Something as simple as journaling every single day can make a huge difference. Take time to breathe out. Remove distractions. Remove those distractions, whether that's TV, people, going to parties, going out, having a good time, social media, playing games. Remove those distractions. Take that time to breathe out. Because this is where you can kind of begin to feel where your needs are. If you're always distracting yourself from how you feel, always seeking fulfillment in some way, it's never going to happen. If you're always seeking it, if you never know what your own needs are, you'll never be able to give it to yourself. But when you sit in that stillness, when you remove the distractions, that's when you're really going to have to, you might actually begin to feel, oh, all I really need is all I really need is some good sleep. All I really need is a good book to feel fulfillment. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. This is going to be our last oracle card pull. Murky waters. Never going to be able to see things clearly if you don't allow yourself to just be. If you allow yourself to just be. This is card number 10. 10 is the final chapter in something. And I'm going to say something right now. Saturn is sitting in Pisces. People who actually struggle, if you actually struggle with substance abuse, please be careful. Pisces is the sign of, it can be overindulgent. It can be prone to escapism. And if you are using substances to escape, with Saturn sitting in that sign, just please be careful. Saturn gives multiple chances. Saturn is the planet of karma. It is the planet of time, structure, and discipline. He doesn't look real kindly on people abusing the time that they've been given, right? So that's just my forewarning. Please be careful when it comes to Pisces energy and addiction and escapism. Okay, it's really not something to play around in. If you struggle with substance abuse, I encourage, as somebody who was once struggling with alcohol addiction, who was in a relationship with a struggling alcoholic, please seek help. Like, there are people you can talk to, right? So that's my public service announcement for this reading. But with murky waters, if you're constantly seeking that fulfillment outside of yourself, the waters are always going to be murky. You will find yourself in this cycle over and over and over again. So with the Pisces new moon, addressing your addictions is what you can do. Steps like, I'm going to start working out every day to keep myself moving so I don't think about it. I'm going to talk to a counselor. I'm going to go to AA meetings. I'm going to cut out the social media. Whatever the addiction is, now is the time to address it. So I hope this helped. I hope you guys have an incredible new moon. As always, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you can be updated when I upload the March forecast video. which is where I will give the forecast of each week, kind of what you can expect for each week of the month. Also, comment and let me know where you're tuning in from, where you're watching from, and kind of what resonated the most with the reading that you chose to watch. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I'll be glad to help in any way I can. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.